the future of the industry may just lay in Steam's hands. The Steam Deck, as we all know, is a product that was started by Valve on Kickstarter and then blew up with multiple influencer reviews, as it promised something that every gamer had been dreaming of, but for the first time was in a realistic form factor. This was portable gaming at its finest. Paired with a continued barrage of showcases in its alpha phase, led the company towards an incredible launch. However, there was one thing left that Valve had to face, and that was the price. This is where Valve could one-up every other company to the point where the Steam Deck price was so competitive that nobody else had ever come close to the cost performance that Valve was promising its consumers. But how were they able to do that? Well, if we backtrack a little bit, it's not that hard to fully understand based on Valve's past record. Even though they were not a game console company, before anything else, they were a game retail store with thousands of games up front to choose from. This gave Valve the ability to not have to spend thousands and thousands, if not millions of dollars on games so that they could put it on their platform. This also allowed Steam to have an almost guaranteed successful launch as long as they made sure the compatibility of SteamOS would live up to its name. And that's exactly what they did. At launch, the Steam Deck was already capable of playing hundreds of well-known games, and games that were not fully working were immediately sought out by Valve's team to make sure that each and every game would be able to be played at least 30 FPS. They have continued to work diligently on these, and now the Steam Deck is able to play upwards of 40,000 games within a year of its launch. This is completely unheard of. This brings up the question though, where does the Steam Deck stand in the grand scheme of gaming, and what does this mean for other console companies at this point? With the Steam Deck's base model costing $399 versus PlayStation's fluctuating price of between $300 to $700 for their newest console, it almost seems like a no-brainer to buy the Steam Deck. However, it's not as simple as that, as the console is more powerful, with the output being more high-res, whereas the Steam Deck sits between 720 and 1080 on most games. This is perfect for handheld mode, but for those who mainly dock, having a PlayStation or an Xbox makes more sense, as it can do upwards of 4K to 8K streaming. This then brings up the Switch, which is the most likely competitor, as it costs only $50 less than the Steam Deck, and $150 less for the original. As these are both handhelds, this is the easiest comparison. But it's honestly incredibly hard to make the comparison, as the Switch is almost a 2-generation-old console coming out in 2017, and has not had any new refresh since then, with only the OLED being the newest model. This is now an issue as the Steam Deck is filling the space where the Switch has left. And since there is not a new refresh of the Switch that is more powerful, people are looking towards the Steam Deck as it fills all those needs and is a perfect companion, especially if you're someone who already buys games on Steam to begin with. We are now at a crossroad where portability versus graphics quality is being made, and while it may be easy for you to make the choice between the two, the line has begun to get a lot more blurry for others. And until other companies make a console that is anywhere near the cost effectiveness of the Steam Deck, it is here to stay and will continue to flourish, as Valve has a chokehold on the market and the community that will be very hard to compete with in the future. Thanks for watching.